Hello, and welcome to another ScienceMan digital lesson. Today, we're going to look at the alkali metals of the periodic table. Now, if we were to zoom in on the left-hand side of the periodic table and direct our attention to rows 2, 3, and 4, you'd see lithium, sodium, and potassium all arranged vertically right on that left-hand side of the periodic table. These metals are in the alkali metal family, and they share some similar characteristics. In fact, if you go across the whole periodic table, you'll find that families, the vertical arrangements of elements, often share similar characteristics. In the case of these metals, for instance, if you look at sodium, sodium is a silvery, grayish, electricity conducting metal, and it's actually so soft it's easy to cut. If you compare that to lithium, it's almost exactly the same characteristics. Silvery gray, soft, easy to cut, conducts electricity. And if you were to look at potassium, it would be pretty much the same as well. And another interesting characteristic of these elements is that they react vigorously with water. Now, to play with that in the lab is a little bit dangerous, so what we're going to do today is do a simulation of it. And here, what I have is some lumps of these metals, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with the first one. I'm going to take some lithium and put it in this beaker, and then I'm going to drop some water in the beaker, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so that bubbled and fizzed, and then it reacted. So we'll just empty the beaker, and we'll take sodium, and we'll try that again. Just dump the water into the beaker and see what happens. Okay, well, that was a little bit more vigorous of a reaction. Again, we had violent fizzing, bubbling, and that time we had a real bursting into flames. So similar but more vigorous. So what we'll do is we'll empty the beaker and try one more time with potassium. Let's drop our water in and see what happens. Wow, okay, that was a very vigorous reaction. The lithium reacted very quickly, it was all gone in a very explosive reaction. So, not exactly the same characteristics, but very similar. So, that's a quick look at the alkali metals and their reactivity with water. And the thing to keep in mind here is that families on the periodic table share similar characteristics. So, thank you for viewing this lesson. And once again, if you haven't done so already, go to yenka.com and download Yenka. I used it to do this simulation, and you might want to give it a try for yourself. Thanks again.